India, the world's most loved and hated country. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's just a country like every other. I'm pretty sure it's just a country like every other. Every country is hated by somebody. Every country is loved by somebody. Of course, the hate right now is just a little weird. It's just a little weird and a little overblown. A little overblown. TSB TV.
A loaded question. What is a woman in India? Is it a country filled with shit? Or the country that invented half of humanity's wit? Seems a bit excessive. Okay then, should they be hated for being ignorant and loud? Or celebrated for being hardworking and culturally proud? Are they filled with scammers with their terrible grammar? Or
Yes. Yes, the first one. The first one.
overflowing with songs and filmy glamour?
And the second one. And the second one. Again, that's the thing. It's just like there's always more to a society than what people originally hear. Is there a festival with poop? Yeah, of course. There's also one in the United States. There's probably one everywhere in the world. But again, is it all of India? No, it's just this rural little village. Is there loud and obnoxious situations? Yes. Just like in the United States, just like everywhere in the world. You always have very loud and obnoxious people. It happens everywhere. It's funny how everyone has the same kind of complaints with India. Like the same thing with like the scamming.
Celebrated for being
Is there
hardworking and culturally
scamming?
proud? Are they filled with scammers?
Is there scamming in India? Yes. Just like everywhere else in the world. Like, honestly, I'm pretty sure some of the farms that are run out of like Pakistan or Nepal or India or, you know, those scamming farms. Let's be honest. Some of them are probably funded by the United States. Some of them are funded by the United States. Some of them are probably backed by people who are in cahoots with big companies who buy data from like Facebook or Meta, I guess it's called now, or buy data from Elon Musk or whatever big company is selling data. And then they utilize that data that they have purchased with these farms. So that way it becomes easier for them to target people because they know their information. They have their email address. They have their phone numbers. And you can literally start looking people up. You know their name, you can look them up. You can find out their phone number. You can find out their emails. You can find out there's things out there to find out everything now. Everything.
With their terrible grammar, or overflowing with songs and filmy glamour? Should they be mocked for their crowded and chaotic streets? Or praised?
Yep. Same thing. I hate San Francisco. I hate being in San Francisco because it's this. It's this. Well, more homeless than anything, let's be honest. More homeless taking dumps in the middle of the road, leaving their syringes that they were given for free everywhere after they've stuck themselves and injected themselves with stuff. You can see this stuff everywhere in the world.
For the yoga and spiritual retreats. Okay, we get it. The Indian love-hate relationship on the internet has gone too far. Every time, it's either bloody jolly good or terribly shite. Either AMOLED black or ceramic white. Okay, I'm gonna stop rhyming now. So in this video, let's look at both sides of the argument and see where we stand. Whether India is truly the worst country in the world or the greatest civilization to be ever built. Or just maybe,
It's just a civilization. It's just a civilization. There are goods and there are bads. Surprising. Same thing with China. There are goods and there are bads. Shocking. Like everywhere in the world has goods and bads that make their civilization good and bad. It's so weird how we've gotten to a point in time where we're literally having to talk to adults and be like, okay, you know all this bad stuff you've heard? It's true. But just so you know, all this good stuff is true as well. You know shampoo, which you use on probably a daily basis, perfume, deodorant, all that comes from India. It originated in India. It's just like these people can't seem to, they hear all negatives. And the thing is, people are more likely to remember a negative than a positive. That's why people, when they think of a location, they always think of the negatives first because the negatives are the stereotypes. That's why I think stereotypes are used to be jokes, because it's just something you can joke about. But it doesn't mean it's true. It doesn't mean it's everything. it's like 1 out of 10, but because that one is the stereotype, everyone only focuses on the one instead of the 9 other things that make a location great. Like when people think of America, what do they think of? Guns. Guns. When I think of a gun, what do I think of? Self-defense, a tool. Because I was educated properly. I was raised by law enforcement. I know what kind of tool it is. It's a tool of self-defense. And a lot of people don't, like anytime I see like it in movies, a gun, or they're not handling it properly, I always get enraged because it's like, dude, I was a kid, not even able to hold a squirt gun, pointing it at my brothers unless we were actually playing like an actual game. You can't load it, fill it with water, and have the barrel pointing at my sibling as I'm filling it with water. Because it's a squirt gun, but you got to learn this stuff at a young age. You got to learn the stuff at a young age. So now I'm like triggered when I see people not even handling guns right. It's like, you guys are retarded. You're retarded. That's a tool. You need to utilize it as a tool. But yeah, there's everywhere has goods and bads.
See 15 different shades of grey. For this, let's do a quick test, shall we? If you were to type India on the internet right now, the first thing you would notice is a mini Google slideshow of the most famous things.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to do that. I'm going to type it real quick. Oh, I need to do this. Hang on. Oh, wrong one. My bad. Let me see if I can fix that. There it is. I can't get my keyboard button. Okay, let's try this again. Try this again. India. Okay. Can I just India? Yeah. Country in South Asia. That's literally all I get. That's all I get. India cricket, India fatigue 2. Oh, those are images I searched. Oh, so India cricket, India match, India versus, India X, India country, India flag, basic information about India, India map. Is that really all that pops up? Is that really all that pops up? What the heck?
In India, such as the Ranthambore National Park and Amber Palace. You know, the 2 things that India is known for. And
because those are the things that popped up. Okay, makes sense. Makes sense.
If you were to scroll past that, you would get some daily dose of depressing news, which is just regular news here. And then,
well, yeah, you type in anywhere in the world, and you get depressing news. Like, let's say, like if you're in India, sit down, type in the United States news. United States of America news. You're going to get information about the stabbing that happened recently, about how he was given a life sentence, about how the black community is up in arms because it's racism that the black guy got a life sentence for killing a white guy, you know, a hate crime. So it makes no sense. It makes no sense. The same thing, like if I'm in the United States and I type India news, I'm going to get a lot of dark stuff. Why? Because that's just how it works. That's how it works. You always get the worst of the worst.
you would arrive at a Wikipedia page of India with 1 million visits, a website of Incredible India which nobody visits, and then of India Post, which I only clicked to track my courier that was supposed to arrive 3 months ago. Scroll some more and you would arrive at World Bank and Britannica pages on India that talk about how
Oh, he's still waiting on his delivery.
India is one of the fastest growing economies of the world and that it occupies the greater part of South Asia. Yeah, take that, motherland haters. We are the fastest growing and a greater part of something. Scroll some more and you would reach a Human Rights Watch article that says the Indian government has escalated its crackdown on civil society and... Anyway, if you then scroll past that...
Wait, what did he... He didn't read it. He didn't read it. I'm gonna read it. Okay, the Indian government, led by the Hindu nationalist BJP party, BJ party, has escalated its crackdown on civil society and the media. What's that supposed to mean? I'm a retard. What is that supposed to mean? I know the BJP, but escalated its crackdown on civil society and the media. So it's trying to control the media, the narrative. I don't know. I don't know.
Its crackdown on civil society and... Anyway, if you then scroll past that, you would reach Times of India, which signifies that you've hit rock bottom of the internet. My point is, even a quick Google search shows the worst or the best of India, but not a complete picture. Understandable, since you must be pretty jobless if you were to read till page 10. And this can be used as a good window to see how people think on the internet. You have those who have bad things to say about India, usually from abroad, and not to racially discriminate like the TSA, but usually white. And those who only have good things to say about India, usually from within, and not religiously discriminate like a certain party mentioned in the Human Rights Watch article. But let's just say, in this black and white spectrum, orange is the new black. Now, to anyone who distinctly hates India,
Really? Did he need to say that? Did he really need to say that?
you might say that that hate is justified. I mean, just look at the obvious reasons. Messing up a place and being loud? Check. Not following rules? Check. Angry and confrontational? Check. Illegally entering a foreign country? Check.
Yes.
Confusing Pakistanis, Bangladeshis and Sri Lankans in the above pictures for Indians? Check, check, check. But the thing is, this is a classic case of one rotten apple spoiling the whole lineup. A person might come across a bad experience with an Indian, maybe a couple more if they're unlucky, and will start holding a prejudice against them for the rest of their lives. Like how I sat next to a Welsh guy on a plane once and now keep a translator app on my phone handy just
Exactly. That's how it works. That's how it
in
works.
case I meet another Welsh person in my life, because whatever he spoke that day could not have possibly been English. All I could make out was that he either hates the Irish or has an Amish therapist. My point is, when we are subjected to a bad experience from a particular class of people, we tend to extrapolate and apply it to the entire class. The only difference here is that class is, 1.4 billion of us. So when someone creates a clip or makes a hate video on a fifth of humanity, it's very reasonable to expect some backlash which results in tens of millions of views. And of course, people are going,
What? But that's the thing. I don't understand how that works. I don't understand when they do a hate video that targets like a fifth of the world's population. The ones that are doing positive, for some reason, don't reach a fifth of the world's population. They just disappear to the ether. Why is that? It makes no sense to me. But then again, people are more likely to watch something that's hateful towards them than they are to watch something that's positive. And that's deep down ingrained in us. We prefer to see what people have to say critically about us or hatefully about us than to see what people have positive to say about us. Which honestly gets us down the self-anger rabbit hole. It gets us angry and defensive and hating groups of people, even though that isn't the entirety of it. But just like with how there's so much Indian hate, there's also a ton of people who are creating positive videos because they either live in India, have traveled to India, or are married to Indians. Like I am, well, kind of, I don't live there, but I want to live there. But I have like almost all three. It's just like, so they create content, yet it disappears and is never seen. Why? Because everyone focuses on the negatives. So that way they can leave their comments down below, getting enraged, making that person who made it a hate video just more money. Just more money, because that's what they're doing it for. They're doing it for the money.
to watch these clips because rage bait works. Rage bait wasn't discovered on the internet. It was discovered 250,000 years ago.
BJP has control over TV media, not only not social media. Oh, okay.
Monkey on the opposite brand started jumping and taunting you to come get him. And so the monkey brain hits retweet, and the monkey brain hits share, and the monkey brain comments something nasty. What we tend to forget is that these people would have probably come across thousands of other Indians, I mean, we are literally everywhere,
Yes.
who would have behaved normally, acted politely, smiled, chit-chatted, and maybe even helped them out. But that wouldn't make director's cut because our brain is like the internet. We only tend to remember the good things, but most of it is just bad. And in a population size of 1 billion, even a sample size is 1 million. So naturally, just by sheer stats, you are more likely to encounter an uncivilized Indian than, say, a sad and lonely middle-aged Welshman sitting on the aisle seat of a plane. And I'm not here to defend anybody. India has a clear lack of civic sense, and not just abroad, but within India too. And it's not like it's a secret. There are hundreds of videos on it, because easy views. I mean, I'll probably make a video on it if I run out of views myself. Pray that day never arrives, my friend. Pray that it never arrives.
Maybe I should make a video on that because it's gonna go places. It's gonna go places.
While sometimes this lack of civic sense comes from ignorance, sometimes it comes from the environment and the culture they are brought up in, where sending death threats and tweets is as common as spitting on the side of the street, when in reality, both are just bad. Which is why this cultural shift has to come from within. Parents, teachers, educational curriculums, and even social discourse not until very recently lacked a clear and distinct topic on social and civic behavior, which means we can course correct it as long as we are willing to learn. But sometimes this lack of civic sense comes from something entirely different. It comes from the absolute pride they take in doing what they do, which is where we come to the other end of the spectrum. The people who love their country so much to the point of delusion.
Yep.
I mean, I don't have to look too far. I see this on my own channel. Every other day, I get one hate comment, one correction comment, especially from that education video saying, I think you were supposed to say geology, not geography. I'm sorry for such a truly deplorable mistake, sir. I was sleeping.
Like, the funny thing is I missay things all the time. I misread things all the time. But the thing is, it's just like that. We're human beings. We make mistakes. We don't know all the information. And I'm happy for that. I'm going to be honest. I'm happy I don't know all the information. The last thing I want in life is to be like, I know everything. How unhappy would that make somebody if they knew everything? If they knew everything, I would be so depressed. So freaking depressed. Why? Because you know everything in the world. What's left? What is left? Like, I find that fascinating. I like the ability to know that I know nothing. That the fact that I can always learn something new is exciting. And there's always someone out there that's more well-versed than me. The funny thing is most people don't think like that. They don't think like that. Everyone chases the ultimate knowledge, the wanting to be the perfect knowing person and everything, when it's like, we're not. We're not. No matter what, we will always come at things from our own perspective. From our own perspective, I guess, unless we're learning about math, which is math is math. There is no difference in math unless you're doing girl math. Math is just math. That's it. That's it. The only difference is girl math. But there are things like in culture, in society, everyone comes at things certain ways. Like, an Indian man will come at like a civic sense and culture a certain way than I will. Why? Upbringings are different. Just like me and my brothers, we have a different concept of what it means to grow up as a child because they had much different upbringing than I did. Even though we grew up in the same house, we had the exact same parents, we ate the same exact food. I was medically ill and couldn't go to school. They went to school. That's the only difference. And they had a massive different upbringing than I did. So in the end, nobody will ever know 100% of like what's going on in the world. No one will ever know everything because there's always a different aspect. There's always a different perspective. There's always a different avenue. And I just find that fascinating. Most people need to look at the world that way. Most people honestly need to look at the world that way. They'd be much happier, much happier.
And tired and did not know what I was typing. My condolences to the Rock family. And one compliment. They're actually more than one. You guys are too kind. But since I am a self-trained, self-diagnosed, self-inflicting masochist, I only focus on the hate comments instead. And these hate comments are generally triggered from my copyright pending theory of packaged identity. Whenever I criticize India for certain things, which arguably should not be an argument at all, on topics such as lack of safety, poor infrastructure, cleanliness, corruption, caste and religion-based violence, you know, stuff that everyone should agree upon because it's too obvious.
Yep. People should agree on that. But a lot of people, they get so down the rabbit hole of thinking themselves superior that if it goes against or their party was the one or it's their religion targeting other people, they're like, no. Yeah, how dare you say that? How dare you say that? We're doing this in response of. I was like, that still doesn't make things right. Hate is hate in general. In general. Of course, that's weird coming from me because I'm all about self-defense. If someone attacks you, you put them down. You put them down. But I'm against like groups as a whole. I'm against these groups as a whole. I don't like people. I don't like people. I think individuals are the way to get to know people. Individuals are the way to get to know people. I did see that live chat, most of them from Pakistan. Yeah.
But no, because certain people who identify themselves as the embodiment of Bharat Mata comment either about how other places have had it worse or completely ignore the point and go on meandering about how India is the greatest country to be ever drawn on a map. For instance, take safety itself. Some people say India is safer because of lower rape per capita. Per capita? First of all, this is not GDP or the 300 rupees you earn from your BCom qualification. This is physical and emotional scarring. Secondly, it's misleading because half the cases don't even get reported. And thirdly, next time...
Yep, half the cases don't get reported because, again, there's a shame culture on it. Just like... Honestly, I think divorce shouldn't be frowned upon in India. I don't think it should. Certain areas are probably more progressive in that aspect, but some places aren't. There are some places, and you can't say that isn't the case. Even in the US, there still are some communities which are completely against divorce. Completely against divorce, which makes no sense. Like, again, I believe that there are only like three categories for divorce, like cheating, abuse, and I just forget the third one. I always forget the third one. But yeah, there's only a few reasons for divorce. Or cheating, abuse, and like there's nothing there. The relationship has just failed. Like, it's one person putting in on the work, and the other person is just completely given up. Just completely given up. Like, that's also grounds for divorce as well.
when someone you know gets attacked, I want you to walk up to the victim and say, hey, at least our ranking is solid. India might have been the greatest country to be drawn on a map, maybe in the 5th century, but we haven't been doing too well lately, have we? Even if you remove those pompous little Britishers, or the Mughlai biryanis, or that goddamn Razia Sultana, post-independence we should have been on the global map by now. But all we are known for mostly abroad are for being street drainers and brain drainers. Now, like a proper Indian parent, let's build some trauma and compare ourselves with our peers, China and South Korea. Two countries that had similar beginnings like us in the 1940s, a large population for their size and a crumbling economy. Yet, they managed to beat all odds and outpace India by some distance. Of course, they weren't perfect, but they were far better at understanding their problems and tackling them together by encouraging education, business, and an open...
He's gonna get so much hate for this. He's gonna get so much hate for this.
Okay, not that open, China. Calm down. You don't have to eat everything that moves. Meanwhile, look at us. We have civil wars everywhere. Nationally, we have the North versus South divide, where you're called a Madrasi or a Bihari as a slur. And whenever something bad happens in a particular state, instead of dealing it like normal citizens, people resort to comments such as North is better, or 100% literacy, sir. Or where UP starts calling Kerala a commie, or West Bengal calls Gujarat a fascist. Have you ever seen Stalin and Mussolini perform actively in a democracy? Come to India, my G, you will see them both. State-wise, we have the language wars, where instead of respecting and learning each other's languages, we just fight it. देख सुन 25 मिनट लगेगा घर तक 100 रुपए दूंगा ये बात समझ आई ना तो फिर सीखना क्यों है तुम लोगों का कन्नड़ वन्नड़ जलेबी खाने आया हूं पढ़ने नहीं ये नो 25 ಮಾರ್ಚ್ ಸಾಕು ನನ್ನ ಮಗನೇ ನಮ್ಮೂರಿನ ಭಾಷೆ ಕಲಿಯಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ತಿಕ್ಕ ಮುಚ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗು ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಇದು ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ Yeah dude, keep doing more and more of this. You know what, why stop there? Let's have a rap battle where both of you roast each other in languages neither of you understand. This is why we should just all stick to sign language instead. Stone Age was the best age, wasn't it? As a community we had...
Yep, Stone Age was the best. You just carry around a club, you bring home a slab of meat, you take most productive woman, you take them to cave, you provide meat, woman cook, and then you go back out with club, get more meat. That's how it worked. You knew exactly what was going on. You don't like other barbarian, you hit them on head. If they hit you on head harder, you lose. And you lose woman and meat.
Civil wars between castes, forget about economic development and education progress. If you're a Lingayat or a Maratha or a Yadav or a Jad or any other caste or community, vote for a particular guy or a party because they will protect your culture and caste.
Yeah, this pisses me off. This kind of ideology, this kind of party barrier, this kind of, oh, you have to vote for me because, like, this is why I hated Barack Obama. The whole policy was, you vote for me or else you're racist. I mean, it worked. I'm not gonna lie. That kind of emotional manipulation, that party line works on people. It works on people. It worked to elect a president of the United States. It's gonna work in India because people keep winning elections over there because of it. It is so problematic because when you start dividing people based off of ethnicity and race, guess what? You're gonna have problems based off of ethnicity and race. Those are two different things, right? Ethnicity, race, religion, all those things. When you put up barriers, guess what? You're going to have problems because of those barriers. Just like that's the problem with movements. Movements end up going too far, like what was it? The civil rights, the fact that black man, white man, everyone deserves equal rights. Guess what happened? Now it's going back to complete separation because now racism is a thing again. Why? Because it's been made a thing. We used to have no problems. When Barack Obama started running, originally I was just like, oh, okay. And then it was like, oh, vote for me or else you're racist. America's racist if I don't win. That kind of nonsense. And then he gets elected and guess what? Everyone realizes that kind of stuff works. So they start utilizing it. Constantly. Oh, you can't arrest me. I'm a black man. You're white. I'm gonna call racism. Oh, I can't breathe. Even though I'm a career criminal, I can't breathe. He ends up dying. Oh, it's racism. Not the fact that it was a career criminal high at the point in time, literally having to be held down by several people. It's like, I hate this. I absolutely despise this. Anytime I hear someone running on the lines of, oh, my religion, my ethnicity, oh, X, Y, and Z, I hate them. Anytime someone ever vocalizes that, call them out. Tell them to shut their mouth and actually run on the policies of the people. Because guess what? They're supposed to be the leaders of the people. They're supposed to set an example for the people. The problem is they set the wrong example for the people. because it's all based off skin tone. It's all based on religion. It's all based on, where they're from in India or where they're from in the world. How stupid is, sorry. I don't mean to go on a tangent. But this stuff is such stupidity. People need to call it out when they see it. Everywhere they see it. Because it just creates problems. It just creates problems. That's why you have to train yourself to think rationally? Yes. And honestly, call your parents out. When they start, because of X, Y, and Z, call them out on it. I had to do that with my parents. To this day, I still make fun of them for things they were talking about back in the day. And I'm like, well, I was for this from the beginning because of X, Y, and Z. This is why I felt and believed what I believed. This is why I felt that way. This is why I was strongly about it. You have to talk with them. Because the thing is, if you're the only one that knows what's going on, the rest of the people will just follow like sheep. You have to tell the others that, this is what's going on here. It's going to cause a problem down the road. We can't vote for this because of this. Because of my skin tone, because of my religion, because of whatever nonsense they want to make up at that point in time. Because in the end, guess what? The people who run on that don't care about you to begin with. They just want your vote. That's why they run on it.
Not your rights, just your caste. And within families, you have gender and inheritance wars. We still largely live in a traditional society where women have to fight for a job after marriage or after having a child, while men are pressurized to be the breadwinners. You want people to die for the country when in reality kids are fighting with their own siblings over a piece of land they inherited from their parents. बढ़िया है सैयद भाई, आपके 5 सेंट के प्लॉट में जो 7 बच्चे पैदा किए ना, क्या सोच के किया है? वाह, बांटिए अब. Fractions और highest common factor ढूंढना पड़ेगा इसके लिए तो. And we as a country will never unite here because we look at them as zero-sum games. For somebody to win, somebody must lose.
Yep.
But if we all were to stop fighting, the ultimate losers will be the politicians that depend on these issues to gain your votes. So, when we have
See, he was able to say it more concisely than I was.
these many internal problems to solve, in addition to Hindu versus Muslim, rich versus poor.
When I was younger, I thought they told the truth. Now I know they get benefits from the government for travel. Only independent media can tell the truth. Yeah. That's the thing. It's like a lot of people literally are paid to do propaganda. They're paid to do, it's not it is propaganda because they're selling a certain narrative, but they get benefits from it. Especially the YouTubers who are so down like a certain kind of pipeline, they get benefits for it. If you see them traveling, meeting politicians, talking, going on, protests and things like that, they're getting something from it. They're receiving something from it. Free travel, free benefits, free everything. They're doing it because they want something. It's not about the people. It's not about the audience. It's not about it's just about themselves. It's just about themselves. People need to realize, think rationally, and honestly, think for themselves. Have open conversations. Talk to people from opposing beliefs, different religions, different castes, different whatever. Talk to them. And the funny thing is, if you're talking to an individual, you'll realize you're not so different. But don't go out and bark at a group of people. You're not going to learn anything if you're yelling at a group of people. But if you're talking to one person in a group of people, you're going to realize you're not so different. That you're not so different.
Gen Z versus boomers, the topics that I haven't even touched. It gives me second-hand embarrassment when someone mentions how our country is the greatest country, especially abroad. Hi, what's your name? Hi, I'm Santosh Joseph. Malayaliano. Ade. Joseta, idendu Mayra. Why are you holding a banner on India in Dubai? Today's 15th August, and I'm here to celebrate our independence with all my fellow Indian brothers and sisters and tell the world that we are now a large superpower. Oh, that's awesome. So then why did you leave?
Nope, not a superpower yet. Getting there. I said 5 to 10 years. 5 to 10 years. So it's about 9 to 4 years? 9 to 4 years now. 9 to 4 years now.
India and come to UAE? Hey, I didn't find a good enough job there. Yeah, that tracks. Look, India is not unique when it comes to having problems. I mean, the US is handing out guns like college admission pamphlets, Japan's population is crumbling as if it's in a zombie apocalypse, and Sudan is not even in the news because Africa, I guess. And nobody gives a shit about Africa, you know, our true motherland. But would it hurt to simply acknowledge that we have more problems to solve than solutions to admire, and that talking about it, sharing that?
Let me tell you something. India have too much unemployed people, but most of them don't really work hard for. And if they do, you'll get what you want. The problem is that most don't want to work hard. I think the main issue is there are too many social programs in India. The thing is, if you have social programs created for people to do nothing to get something, that's going to indoctrinate people to not want to do anything to get something. That's what's happening in the United States. In the United States, it was a capitalist society. You had to work in order to earn, in order to get something. You couldn't get something from nothing. The problem is we're trying to push for a more socialist society. You know, do nothing in order to get something. That's becoming more of a problem. More people don't want to do anything for a living. They just want to receive benefits for not providing to society. So everyone literally thinks that they deserve something. Everyone has that instilled in them that, oh, I was told I was special. I was told I would get my COVID checks. I was told I'd get money from the government for free instead of actually getting a job and doing and working for a living. Like for me, it would be nice if I could do this for a living. It would be nice. But right now, I basically make pennies. I make pennies, which is still nice. It's still nice to have pennies to spend, but I have to have a full-time job because I'm a married man. I plan on traveling back to India. I have bills to pay. I barely make enough as it is. And it's very expensive here. It's very expensive here. But again, so many people just want something for nothing. But now all those benefits are gone. Only business people who support that party can make the media nice to that party. Also, independent media can't work well because the satellite broadcasting rights are very expensive. Yeah, again, a lot of that stuff seems to go out the window. It goes out the window. Honestly, I think the best news is gotten from YouTubers. Just YouTubers. Like the ones who literally are there for the people. Like, I'm glad like the US has Nick Shirley. Sure, he has a bias. Sure, he has a bias. But he still goes places.
Pain, laughing in it together, and knowing that someone else, just like you, also smelled a middle-aged man's armpits while commuting in a crowded bus makes it kinda comforting, doesn't it? So yes, India is not the greatest country in the world, but it's also not as bad. If India were to vanish from the face of this earth tomorrow, half of the world's social media platforms would just die. But they also would not have to deal with the pedestrian proud to be Indian comments stamped across every post and video on us. We export $200 billion in tech services and keep the internet running, but nobody talks about that. We have Hotmail, Messenger, GPay, Zoho, all developed by Indians, and nobody can talk shit about that. Messenger Lite probably should though. It's a wreck. While the West comments thoughts and prayers as Instagram stories on underprivileged kids, we have brought 270 million people out of poverty in a single decade. We landed a machine on Mars for less money than it took Hollywood to make a movie on Mars, love Bruno Mars, and translate the predictions of Mars. We produce the most doctors and engineers, but also slap them the most when something goes wrong and when we have some architectural flaws. We have the largest railway network, but still not large enough for some bloody legroom. We develop half of the world's vaccines at a third of the cost, but
I know that. I'm always cramped.
can't get access to some decent menstrual pads in villages. We have the 5th largest economy in the world, yet we rank 146th in per capita income. We have the
I think everyone has bias. Yes, absolutely. Everyone has a bias. Everyone has a bias. And anyone who tells you otherwise is lying to themselves. Anyone who's telling you, oh, they're telling you the exclusive news, the objective facts. Anyone who says that, run. Run. Like I've always said, people come at things from their own perspective. Like for me, I have my own bias because of my upbringing. Everyone has it. Everyone has it. And in the end, nobody's bias is one-to-one. Because we all come at it from a different perspective.
Just democracy, but can't seem to agree on one single freaking thing. Most of us are taught to respect others, stay humble, work hard, and help people in need. But we also struggle with work toxicity, social stress and anxiety, dirty places, coming on time, and not honking every other second for some reason. Yes, we have problems, but yes, we are also making progress. So stop hating us.
It's funny. So we like traveling to India. My parents went there for the my wedding, me and my wife's wedding, of course, and the honking nonstop. Like my mother, when we got to the U.S. and we were stalking her, she was like, you know. For days, as I was driving, I heard honking. she heard honking. Like she was just so used to hearing it 24/7 that she heard it for days as she was in the US. Like we flew in, me and my wife finally flew in, and after everything and actually getting the visa, and we flew into the US. We got in the car. We were driving home, and it was like a 3-hour drive. She fell asleep in the car. She had never heard it so quiet on the road before. So the rocking, the steady rhythm of like the tires on the asphalt, she just passed out immediately. She passed out within a matter of 10 minutes. And it's a 3-hour drive home from the airport. And it's just like, she was just asleep the entire drive.
Recently and stop loving us too much. Now, if you don't mind, I have to go comment anti-national on an India critique video and scam an 8-year-old lady into redeeming her Amazon gift cards.
Yes!
Farewell.
Go scam the old lady. Go scam the old lady. Okay, I like his content. I like his content. I need to subscribe. I need to subscribe. Yeah, because, again, everyone has a bias. Every single person in the world has some kind of bias. But that's the thing. You need to be open about it. You have to be. Because if you're trying to hide behind the objective truth, like my father likes watching a news program which talks about, oh, the objective truth. We're only giving you the facts. It's like, no. You're coming at it from your perspective. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes they're wanting to be as honest as possible. But the thing is, you will always just be as honest as you personally can be. Because you give that mic to someone who's lived a different life, they will probably think something completely different about the situation. Just like with the life sentence of that black kid, forgot his name, who stabbed that white kid. Like, there are a bunch of crazies who think that, oh, he shouldn't have gotten a life sentence. He was afraid for his life because he walked into a tent with a white person. And he needed to stab him because he was afraid for his... It's like, the whole thing makes no sense. But again, they're coming at it from their own racist perspective. Which honestly turns the whole thing into race. Turns the whole thing into race. It's freaking ridiculous. It's freaking ridiculous. But yeah, I hate breeds more hate. Hate breeds more hate. And you've always got to call people out. You've always got to talk with people that start following either those religious leaders that... In the end, if you are objective about it, you could probably realize that some of those religious leaders are there just to make money. Just to make money. Because they have a ton of money. Or those politicians are there just to make money. Just to make money. Because they have the influence. The influence to manipulate people. The influence to manipulate people.
You guys got a video?
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Wait like that.